Hi there, it's Luna Michaels, Esoteric Astrologer, coming to you to talk about events of December 2014 from an esoteric astrological perspective. My computer just did something goofy, so I did half my video. I'm doing it again, so I'm like, I don't know how to extend it once it cuts off, but okay, starting again. The one thing I really want to focus on this month is Saturn going into Sagittarius. Hooray! On the 24th of the month of December, Saturn will move into Sagittarius. It is going to retrograde back out of Sag and go into Scorpio from mid-June to mid-September, but we're going to deal with that later. By and large, the energy is going to really lighten up with Saturn moving out of Scorpio. Saturn itself is a planet of tests and challenges, so it's not like, woohoo, like in any sign, it's going to be a little heavy. But Scorpio tends to be a heavier sign in general than Sagittarius. And also when you've gone through 2.5 years of a planet in a sign, it's like, oh, enough already, you know? It went into Scorpio in October 2012. So it's like we're just all kind of tired of looking at these themes that Scorpio represents. And those things could be sexual issues, financial issues, things about debt, even karmic debt when we think about karma. Scorpio really is like looking into your depths and your shadow self and what you don't like about yourself. This kind of intense can be self-hatred or being overly harsh with yourself. You know, power issues. People tend to not use their powers wisely. With Saturn and Scorpio, you're really being tested about power issues. So feelings of rejection, abandonment, just all that great stuff, right, is Scorpio energy, especially Saturn and Scorpio. So when Saturn was into Sagittarius, yay again, on the 24th, it was just a general feeling of, you know? And Sagittarius is about the story behind everything. Why did it all happen? I feel like Sagittarius is a really positive energy, and I just did my radio show on Sagittarius, and it would be on my website, lunamichaels.com, if you want to look that up. I talked a lot about Sag and Jupiter. But the idea that when you've gone through such intensity, like from Scorpio into Sag, it's like such heaviness and intensity from that Scorpio, and Sag is about making why did it all happen, that you are in a benevolent universe, that your soul is wise and is having experiences for a reason. There's not just random crap happening to you. You can put it, even if it's not like, oh boy, everything's good. It's like, I see why it happened. I've learned a lesson. It's not like I'm a victim of circumstances because I'm understanding the why and how I can improve things. So in that regard, Sagittarius is a relief. Even when it's in Scorpio, when Saturn is in Sagittarius, there's still lessons to be learned and wisdom to be gained. But just that juncture point of it moving into Sag is going to be a relief. A lot more hopefulness around sexuality, around finances, again, around this overly self-critical stuff that a lot of people on a spiritual path are in. Even your health can really improve. There's just a sense of optimism and just less stress, you know. So it's a great time to meditate and sorry, I don't think I said this on this video yet, but to look at what went on since October 2012 for you regarding those areas of Scorpio stuff. Trusting other people, that's another Scorpio thing, betrayal, those kind of themes, jealousy. So maybe doing some writing and releasing of those topics. And if you want to go even further back, if you're old enough to look at the past 30 years when Saturn was in Scorpio before. And that would have been, hang on a second, let me get my other ephemeris. Last time Saturn was in Scorpio, it was, and went into Sagittarius. That was in 1980, the end of 1985, like Thanksgiving 1985 is when we last had this transition. So it's interesting to look at who you were, what the whole patterns have been, being able to release all these patterns, no matter how long-standing they seem, they can be a part of your karmic story that now you've got it. You've done that whole cycle again. So if you want to look at the larger cycle, you can meditate about that. So yay, onward we go with our Saturn in Scorpio. And of course, there's stuff to happen with that, but let's at least celebrate first. Some smaller things going on is Mars is going to go into Aquarius on the 5th. And that's a nice kind of connection point with Saturn and Sagittarius. Mars in Aquarius can really help you plan, make some goals that are forward thinking, that, what if anything's possible? Which hopefully that Saturn and Sagittarius will help you feel like. So even as you're doing your release work of what hasn't seemed possible, about what could be possible for you, especially in terms of cooperating with other people and how you interact with groups, or just that idea of trust within groups or even within one-on-one things. That Mars going to Aquarius can be a bit of a healing about all that as we look forward to the Saturn going into Sag. So that could be a nice thing to think about, because there's something about Saturn having been in Scorpio that's like, I'm better off doing it myself, or, I don't trust anybody, or, just put up a wall so I don't get hurt. And that Mars in Aquarius can be like, we are all on the planet together, and we are all struggling, and there can be kind of a sense of forgiveness, like it's worth trusting people. Maybe that was a piece of bad karma with that person, and I'm not over there anymore with them, but how can I go forward with an open heart and trusting humanity and trusting the nature of life as it unfolds. So also, let's see, Venus going into Capricorn, and that's going to be on the, I got the note right here, hello, on the 10th. Venus going to Capricorn, that's nice, because that can really help. Here's where Sag and Capricorn are different. We've had Venus and Sag, Venus being finances, and Sagittarius, yay, so you hear a lot of spending. And Venus going into Capricorn can be helpful about planning, not overspending, being more wise about finances, having a budget that's flexible. And again, here's something, if you're looking at financial issues with Saturn having been in Scorpio, that Venus in Capricorn can be a little juncture point where you're saying, okay, how do I have fun and nurture myself with my money while still taking care of all my duties that I have to take care of? So that can help you there. And here's a little thing, just backtracking here again, we were talking about Mars going into Aquarius on the 5th. Jupiter is going to turn retrograde on like the 7th of December. At the same time, we have a full moon, and that's going to be on the 6th. So sometimes Jupiter is extremes, and it's wonderful, but when it retrogrades, it can be a little extreme. And the full moon can make people be extreme, and it's in Sagittarius, Gemini, so it can be a lot of kind of distracting thoughts, or people being a little tense, or maybe sharp-tongued. And again, we're getting into that final part of the Saturn in Scorpio. So it's like, and plus the holiday season and all that. So watching out for blowing things out of proportion, making like wide sweeping judgments about things that can cause trouble, and kind of seeing, why am I overgeneralizing with stuff? What's going on here? And what is the smaller picture of this instead of, so that could be a little mini pitfall there. And again, we can get a sort of a recapitulation or a review of what we have been dealing with when Saturn's been in Scorpio. So looking for all of that for the next few weeks until we gracefully move into the Sagittarius part. So just knowing that if a theme pops up again, it's here to be cleansed and to be examined, and don't act on it, or again, make these grand pronouncements about it, either to yourself in your head or to other people. Just do some journal writing about it. And the fact that it's being blown out of proportion is to draw your attention to it and see this is a theme that's going to be healed. So if you would like to have a session with me, I think that's all I want to say about the month, and we might even talk a little bit more in January about the Saturn going to Sagittarius if I need to, because of some other angles that we'll be making. So if you'd like to get a session from me, it's alunamichaels.com, and I have an ebook that's available on my website too, The Spiritual Gifts, the 12 Astrological Signs. And enjoy yourself till then, and have a great holiday season. Enjoy Saturn and Sag.